So we have Maya today from Checkpoint, and we'll be talking about the security threat landscape and the products and solutions the company offers. So thank you, Maya, once again for speaking to us.
Sure, good to be here.
Thank you. We'll start with a brief about the security threat landscape across the board. How has it changed over the past couple of years?
So actually, if we look at the past year, in total, we see that globally there has been a 50% increase in the number of attacks per organization. And in the past few weeks, it's increased even further. And specifically, if we look at this region and locally here in the Emirates, we see that the number of attacks is actually 10% less than global. So this is a good sign for you.
Okay. In terms of corporate networks, do you think that the cyber attacks have increased since the start of the pandemic, and then people started working from home? Do you think that was one of the key areas where corporate networks were attacked?
Definitely. So I think that since the pandemic started, organizations started working remotely, and it just gave more windows of opportunity for threat actors to attack. And so this is why they have been conducting more attacks, because the success rate is higher, but also many different techniques that many of them try to target remote workers.
Okay. And when you look at the sectors, of industries, is there a particular industry sector that was targeted a lot? Say, for example, utilities, for example, or government. Is there a kind of a threat map that if you can plot, which are the sectors that were attacked most?
Yes, globally, the most targeted sector is education and research.
Okay.
And the second one is government and military. But actually the picture here locally is again different.
Okay.
And the most targeted sector is actually healthcare.
Okay.
And this is interesting because of the trend of ransomware that we're seeing attacking healthcare organizations. And this is really, I think, the most imitating attack that there is. So this is something to notice.
Okay. And when we look at the security threats, now everyone's moved to the cloud with digital transformation happening across the board. Are there any security threats that specifically focus on cloud services?
Yeah. So in the cloud security landscape, we see that there are different companies who find vulnerabilities in the cloud and disclose them to the vendors, but threat actors actually don't use all these sophisticated vulnerabilities, but mostly they exploit misconfigurations in cloud, because there are so many and it's so easy, so there's no need to to be too advanced. Because the basics just work, and this is what we're seeing threat actors doing.
So when companies consider, multi-cloud solutions, what sort of factors do you think that companies should take care of? Are there any key points that they need to look for when they're choosing a solution, so they know that they're choosing the right solution?
So many organizations wrongly think or assume that their cloud vendor also protects their data.
Okay.
And it's wrong. The cloud vendors protect the platform mainly from things like DDoS attacks, but not the data and the services given by the enterprise. And so it's very important to also secure these platforms, and if one is using multi-cloud, then it's important to also choose a security solution that is also multi-cloud, that can protect against attacks on all the different cloud vendors.
As Checkpoint, what sort of key points are you looking at in terms of business strategies or marketing strategies, or getting into new markets, for example, this market? Because we've seen a lot of new markets opening up over the last 1.5 years. What is your strategy when it comes to the regional and global perspective?
So I think that the global cybersecurity market is, it's huge, right? There are so many solutions, each of them for a specific problem. And for Checkpoint, we actually, I would say that we don't focus on any specific solution because we don't really believe in it. Because the attacks today are multi-vector, and the threat actors, they have specific target and they'll find a way in. They'll find the window or the door. And so we believe in what we call the infinity architecture, which actually prevents attacks on each of these entry points, whether it's the endpoint, like a PC or mobile device, or the network, or the email, or the cloud. Okay. So our architecture is actually in each and every one of these points.
Thank you, Maya, once again for speaking to Security Review. Nice having you with us today, and we look forward to speaking to you again in the future as well.
Sure thing. Thank you.
Thank you.